other people like they always have ideas of what you need to do. Because other people project their own fears and insecurities on other people, and then they tell like, "Oh, you need to do it." Especially when it's the people you love, they love. Especially when it's the people they love, it's like, well, I don't like. I love you. I don't want you to suffer. So do this because it's the safe thing to do. Because I don't want you to,
or do this because this is what I do, which is not.
That's what I want you to do.
Yeah. Do you guys need some free advice?
Yeah. Dad, I gotta go.
Roast me! Is that one of these things?
Advice.
Roast.
We just had our very first soccer game and we lost.
Yeah, I need some advice.
Yeah.
What do you need advice on? You guys want to sit down?
Yeah!
Sure.
All right.
Okay.
Wait, do we get recorded?
Yeah. But I'm not going to sit down.
What is this for?
How about let's go right here?
Okay, do you want?
We can be on both
I'm so
sides.
sorry if I'm smelling.
Yeah, I know. I bet
We
I
like
smell
literally
an
just
onion.
played.
Oh, what do you guys think? Oh, that's
Yeah.
fine. I guess we all smell to a degree.
That would
Yeah.
make sense.
So you guys just lost a soccer game. Is that something?
3-0.
Really? So how are you guys feeling?
We played men. It was in
I
it
couldn't
was like a
breathe.
co-ed league, but
But
we
they were
played
men.
men.
It was kind of fun.
Yeah?
It was
Yeah.
really fun.
Isn't that the important part?
Yeah,
Are you guys
having a good
pumped?
time.
Are you guys pumped
Yeah.
that you lost?
No, but I'm pumped that I gotta get out.
Yeah. What you said.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Wow. Well, I mean, what do you guys need advice on?
What are you giving advice on?
Pretty much
Yeah.
anything. And, it's free, but
Why are you
it's,
qualified to give advice?
I'm not.
Okay.
But
I'll
I
take
can
it.
I can ask questions. I can help call you out on your bull crap.
I need that.
And usually that's pretty useless. Useful.
Have you gone to college?
Yes, I studied industrial design.
How did you know what you wanted to do? Because I'm into play.
Yeah, true.
And I don't know what I want to do.
Okay, so you guys are still trying to figure stuff out. Well,
Yeah.
if it makes you feel any better, I'm 30. I don't look like 30.
No, you look very young.
Yes.
Not like 12.
The people we
but
played
like
soccer
also-
against
yeah.
today were a lot
They
older
were
than
like
you.
55 years now.
Oh,
Not
that's
That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Going up against them.
But I'm still figuring stuff out. But I've definitely on my journey noticed that there's certain things that really help.
Share.
What are they?
Just go and like dip yourself into that world and like try it.
Yeah, just do it.
Like you should go ball.
I like that.
Just, I mean, like so. What I have the problem. No, not a problem. It's not a problem. So with school, you go into class, you get an idea of okay, you might here, you might go and take engineering classes to like okay, what is it like? Well, in that class, you're going to be talking a lot about what it's about and stuff like that. You get an idea, okay, machinery, mechanical engineering, machinery, cool.
Yeah.
I kind of like machines and stuff like that. And then you become an engineer and you go to work and you realize, I hate sitting at a desk.
Yeah, I don't want to do that.
Like,
I just want to miss that part of my life where I hate what I'm doing and just like skip to the part where I love it.
Yeah. Well, you have to realize that sometimes for you to figure out what you love is you have to do the stuff you
Something
hate.
that you don't.
Because that's
You
part
have
of
to
the
be a
thing.
doer, Kaylee.
But you gotta go and do. It's like so.
You can't be a
for-
don't-er.
Yeah. So for example, if you're interested in something, I would suggest that you go and go and talk to the people. Go and like hang out with the people who are doing that, and like go in there and try it out. What is it practically like? And figure out what you actually like. And sometimes it pays to if you're really good at something, follow that because you might be able to contribute, especially if you also really enjoy it.
Yeah, because if you like it, why wouldn't you? Question: follow passions or follow the money?
Passions.
But like.
Okay, that's
Yeah.
another thing because you can have like passion and money at the same time.
Yeah, but those
Because it's
two
not
get
it's
really
not black
lucky.
and white. So someone else already asked me is like, do I go for the job that makes me a lot of money but I hate, or do I go for the job that doesn't give me that much money but I love? Well, like okay, sometimes you can have them both. Sometimes you can have the other way, like you hate it and it doesn't pay you at all, but you're stuck there because you're either afraid of doing something else or something like that. So expand the spectrum, but at the same time, think about it. Okay, what if you go for a job that you don't like, but it pays the bills? Sure, you might be rich, you have all this money to go and have vacations and stuff like that. But if it means of going to work every day, most of the year, it means that you're going to be in a mental space that you're not going to be very positive. It's going to run you down. It's going to bring like all this negative energy into your life. You're just going to be pissed because I have to go to work. I'm so frustrated. And your time off is going to be less than what you're going to be working.
It's true.
So is that really worth the money? What's the money for then?
Yeah, true. Because you're just doing something you
That's a
don't
good.
like.
What's the money for? Yeah, no one ever.
Yeah, and typically what happens is that those people are going to be spending that money in solutions, in fulfilling their needs, and typically it's very negative. Like they either drink, they either like do stuff that's not really good for them because they want to numb themselves because they're just unhappy. Because that's what they have time for. So, on the contrary, if you go for something that you enjoy, sure, it might not make as much money, but if it makes ends meet,
And you're happy.
you're happy doing it, and it's like, you know what, you might realize that you actually don't need the millions. I don't need, the big house. I'm just quite happy with what I'm doing.
Where I am.
And you feel like you can contribute, you feel like you're doing things that you
Because you can probably get better from
Curious
there
about.
too, and end up making more money.
And that's typically true.
Regardless.
That's typically
So
true.
how'd
It's
you
like
end up here? Doing this.
this.
Yeah. Are you making a movie?
So this is kind of a series I'm trying to make. Just filming these kind of conversations, putting on Instagram, YouTube. But this is also a process for me. Like I'm trying to see where I can go from here.
Yeah.
If this is gonna like
I bet you're
love.
learning from this as well.
Oh, totally.
Oh my god, I talked to so many cool people. I just have a huge story.
Oh, absolutely. No, like I was doing this in University of Minnesota. There's this guy who comes like, hey, I need a relationship advice, and he's like 23, and he's like, well, what's your situation? Well, I'm dating this woman who's like 16 years older. I'm like, what?
Yeah, at least it wasn't younger.
But no, it's like
I'm dating a 5-year-old.
yeah. But no, it's like incredibly interesting getting his perspective on such a life situation.
Yeah.
And I'm like, wow, okay. It's like,
You've never experienced that before.
yeah.
You don't know what it's like.
Yeah. So I'm doing this just out of curiosity to see what I can make out of this. I mean, I'd love to
I
get
like it.
paid doing stuff
Yeah.
like this.
Dude,
But,
this is really cool, yeah.
but I actually started doing this just without the cameras because I wanted to see if I could consistently do it because I just like it. And yes.
And you do.
Yeah, now I'm
It's really
thinking,
better.
why don't I just take my camera with me? Go and film and see what comes out of it.
That's pretty
I
cool.
hope people like it.
That's sick.
I
See,
like
you're
it.
going
Yeah.
and you're doing it. See,
But,
but you're like you really just went and did it. Because I am scared to like take that leap
Why?
because it's not the safe option. You know, like this is a safe option. You know you're gonna be okay, and like it's just gonna be like very bland, but it's gonna work out.
What's your option? I mean,
I
what
wanted
do you
to.
do?
I wanted to take a gap year,
right there.
and I wanted to travel.
Oh,
But
so that's your
that's what I wanted to do, but
okay.
I was talked out of it because this is what I'm supposed to be doing, I guess.
Who says that you're supposed to do it?
My dad.
I
Why?
hate that.
So why is your dad authority in this? Is he paying for you?
Yeah.
That's where it's like, oh.
Well,
Well,
yeah.
have you? I mean, so if you would have taken a gap year, would have that actually been a financial dent, or would have been just a cause? Can you take
See,
a gap year?
I mean, I guess I could, but I'm just worried I wouldn't come back to this. And this is like a college degree is like a safety net. You know what I mean? And like you can always have that to lean against, or that no one's gonna take that away from you.
Have you had a conversation with your dad? It's like, hey, Dad, like I'm not really sure if what I'm going for right now is gonna contribute to my life in a positive way,
I mean, I feel
or
like
into other people's lives in a positive way. You probably want a happy daughter, don't you? You could say this. It's like, yes. Well, Dad, like I want to get an education. I want to do well in my life.
Yeah.
Hopefully.
Yeah. No,
Okay,
I do.
I want to do well. I want to be responsible. But right now, I'm not sure if what I'm doing right now is going to lead me there. I'm going with the mentality that I need to be safe.
Yeah.
But that puts me into a place where I'm going to make decisions that I'm based on fear. And if I'm going to make decisions out of fear, I'm going to go for something that I might not like, that I think is going to be good for me, but I don't have the space to explore and understand where I could do well and still do really like
right,
profitably.
I don't give myself the space to explore it. I'm just here doing everything
Yeah.
I'm supposed to be doing.
So in a way, you might be doing a disservice. I'm not saying you are, because
I feel like I could,
sometimes when you go doing something, you might end up realizing, you know what, this is pretty good. Like I like this. But it does pay off giving yourself some time to think if that's really what's needed. If you have like classes where you can just kind of, I don't know what you need to figure out what you want, and typically you're not gonna get like a revelation of like, whoa, this is it. But it's important to give yourself the time to realize, okay, at least I know the direction. Like I'm pretty confident that this direction is where I want to be, and I'm not interested in those kind of things. And
figure that out.
this is a conversation you can totally have with your dad. Just like, I know your dad wants you to be happy, he wants you to be safe, all of this stuff. But give him reasons, like, okay, Dad, like, but I do need to figure this out, because if I do it well and properly, I'm gonna make you happy, I'm gonna make myself happy, and I'm not just gonna do things out because I'm supposed to. Like, I don't think your dad wants that. I don't think he wants you to do things because you're supposed to. He wants you to make wise decisions.
That's kind of just what I'm doing.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know what I'm supposed to major in. I don't know what I want to major in. I'm just here because I know that he's making me. Like, I mean, I'm having a good time, but like, I really wanted to travel and like do a gap year and like explore different things and people.
And it could be that you can still do that, you know, at some point. Maybe right now you might want to focus on college and stuff like that. Because there's always time. You know, when you want something, you typically can kind of find a way. That can still happen. So don't close it off. Figure out what you feel like you need and you want. Not just because it's, oh, I can just go and be responsible, have fun and all this. I guess there's a place for that too. But when it comes to these kind of decisions, you know, be wise. And sometimes you allowing yourself the thing you need, which is not always the popular thing to do, might be the good thing for you.
Not always going to be the popular thing, right?
Oh.
Scared to go against the grain.
And that's the thing. If you want to hold your back, if you want to make life decisions that are going to be beneficial to you and make you happy, you have to learn that skill. Because other people they always have ideas of what you need to do. Because other people project their own fears and insecurities on other people, and then they tell like, oh, you need to do it. Especially when it's the people you love, they love. Especially when it's the people they love, it's like, well, I love you, I don't want you to suffer. So do this because it's the safe thing to do, because I don't want you to, you know,
or do this
be in
because this
trouble.
is what I do, which is not.
That's what I want you to do.
Yeah. I mean, if when you follow people's advice, you typically you're taking the same route as they did. Sometimes they're actually like really good advice.
Sometimes you're like, what am I doing?
But if they have an answer to every single thing in your life, you just look at their life, and you likely go kind of where they are. And if it's not something you want, then you want to be at least a bit more open-minded to other options. Like, you want to listen, consider it, but you don't have to agree with it.
That makes sense.
So,
I have another question. Is your last name happening, or is that just like